Sorry, wrong intro, but doesn't matter. It indeed similar. In my earlier videos introducing my mod, I kept referring to old canon, new canon, blah blah blah. You might be curious, what are you talking about? Seem like Star Wars stuff. Congratulations, you are correct, as Diablo universe is just that similar, almost the same as Star Wars. Terms like old canon, new canon, or legend exactly fits what happened to Diablo. We all know that Star Wars new canon started as Disney took over, and for Diablo, it was all about the departure of Blizzard North. Many YouTubers have talked about what such events brought to the game design, yet few about the storyline. However, I'm more fond of the background story and laws than just the gameplay, so I realized soon that the new team almost overthrew the whole universe that Blizzard North originally built up. Much evidence shown that the new canon story was not started at the release of Diablo 3, but much earlier, could be dated back to the year 2006, which was the publishing of the Sin War trilogy. Official novels, comics, or sourcebooks play an important part of Diablo canon. When checking the publishing time, it would be easy to find that a 3-year gap exists. Right between the year 2003, the departure of Blizzard North key members, and 2006, the whole Blizzard North said bye-bye. No official novel, comic, or sourcebook published during the 3 years. And for works before this gap, what in them are based on Diablo 1 and 2 storyline or laws without any conflict. But after this gap, everything changed. They started to tell new stories that the same as Diablo 3 lore, quite different from the older version. Yep, that's why I named them new canon, and the former ones old canon. Maybe Moon of the Spider is an exception. It was also published in 2006, but its story has no conflict with either the old canon or the new. So I suppose maybe it's already been written before the new canon scripts finally set, but since it doesn't conflict with Blizzard's new plan, it could be published, unlike the last 2 books of the old canon Zeagard trilogy, which was cancelled. Blizzard North's old canon is a much darker, more tragical, gothic story, sometimes like fable, with many religion philosophy metaphors hidden in it. You can read them in Diablo 1 or 2 manuals and during the gameplay, also the old canon novels. A good example is Demon's Bane, the first book of Zeagard trilogy and the only uncancelled one. It told an excellent story about a revived warrior Zeagard's revenge adventures. Many ideas in it was inherited by the new canon, such as only death energy can hurt the Death Angel in Diablo 3 expansion, and a revived warrior's communication with Tyrael in the Sin War trilogy. I feel very sorry that the later 2 books of this Zeagard trilogy was cancelled. Luckily, we can still read the summaries on Diablo fandom site. This is a much darker story, definitely fits Blizzard North's old canon. Comparing with it, the new canon stories are as pure as fairy tales. The old canon might seem chipped and has many unexplained myths, but it's more diverse and more interesting. The new canon falsely united the whole Diablo universe with the term Nephilim and the redefinition of the Sin War. These 2 are the backbone of the new canon storyline. The new team tried to explain everything with them, even if they conflict with lots of old canon laws that already been widely received and logically flawless, such as the Amazon mythology system. New canon simply forsaken them all, even without building a bridge to connect. Actually, I doubt the new team had never read the old canon carefully. There are much evidence, like the old Horadrim logo I mentioned before, and the Druid ancestor's name. In Diablo 2 manual, it is clearly recorded as Fiaklagia, but the new canon, it turned to Vasili. Same as Star Wars universe, Diablo also has a legend besides the old and new canon. They are the Blizzard authorized third-party games. The most famous one is the Hellfire expansion of Diablo 1 and a bunch of table RPGs. Although not accepted as canon, laws in them are very interesting and some of them are quite good. Actually, they fit the old canon lore much better than the new canon stories, especially some table RPGs. I doubt perhaps Blizzard North gave them some direct instructions to make them almost perfectly fulfilled the old canon missing parts. Well, just as I said, to my own preference, I'm a devoted advocate of the old canon and legend, and disagreed with many new canon changes. No offense to those who preferred new canon stories, I do think the new team storytellers are not so brilliant as Blizzard North. And don't misunderstand, I'm not meaning the specific authors like Richard Nark. He's a good writer, and his new canon, the Symbol Trilogy, are indeed good stories. He also wrote many excellent old canon novels such as The Blood Legacy or The Kingdom of Shadow. These authors just write what Blizzard asked them to. The real storytellers are the Blizzard team. Okay, this is my definition of old canon, legend, and new canon. If you are interested in the old canon or legends just like me, you can start with Diablo 1 manual and the other documents I listed below this video. You won't be disappointed. I'll make more videos about them, and my mod, The Dark Exile, would always focus on the old canon and legends in later updates.